Good evening and thank you for joining us once again for a summary of the stories making headlines this hour. I'm Dominic Mwashikele. President Hifikepunye Pohamba left for Australia today for the Commonwealth Heads Government meeting. The meeting starts on the 28th to the 30th of this month under the theme Building National Resilience, Building Global Resilience. And President Pohamba says Namibia will use the platform to sell what it can offer to the rest of the world. The Commonwealth leaders meet every 2 years to discuss global and Commonwealth-related issues and agree on collective policies and initiatives. The Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting acts as the principal policy and decision-making forum to guide the strategic direction of the association, and the one to take place in Australia is meant to do just that. While there, the Namibian delegation will use the platform to market the country at the Commonwealth Business Forum that is expected to bring together government and business leaders from the 54 Commonwealth member states. Foreign Affairs Minister Utoni Nuyoma has condemned the killing and inhumane treatment of the body of former Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. Speaking to NBC from Australia, Nuyoma described the incident as a violation of international law that many countries, including NATO member states, have subscribed to. Nuyoma said Namibia would only work with Libya's National Transitional Council once if it was willing to establish a government of national unity and true democracy. He said Colonel Gaddafi was captured alive, and one would have hoped that it was an opportunity for the NTC to take him to the International Criminal Court to be prosecuted for all the accusations they have leveled against him. Nuyoma added that the former Libyan leader was tortured and executed in violation of the Geneva Convention of the International Humanitarian Law and international law stipulating that prisoners of war must be treated humanely. Meanwhile, the bodies of ex-Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi, his son Mutassim, and a top aide have been buried in secret in the desert. A National Transitional Council official told the journalists that the bodies were buried at dawn at an unknown location. This follows days of apparent uncertainty among the new leadership about what to do with the bodies. Gaddafi's family wanted them buried outside the former leader's hometown of Sirte. Officials have given few details of the ceremony. They say it took place early today. A few relatives and officials were in attendance and Islamic prayers were read. Gaddafi, his son Mutassim, and former Defense Minister Abubakar Yunis Jabri were killed on Thursday following the fall of Sirte. Witnesses say the bodies had been removed late yesterday from the meat storage warehouse in Misrata, where they had been on display. Namibian history is being documented in Switzerland. The Namibian Resource Center in the Basel state of Switzerland has become a hive of activity for European academics, researchers and tourists who want to know more about Namibia. Its director, Lucio Schlettwein, says although it may be far away from Namibia and Africa, the center is of great benefit to Namibia. Basel is located in the northern Switzerland at the intersection of its borders with France and Germany. This is where Swiss explorer Carl Schlettwein originated. He visited Namibia in 1952 and collected a lot of materials on Namibia and decided to establish a center upon his return to Switzerland in 1964. The collection includes books, posters, photographs and sound recordings from Namibians in the early 50s. It was this center that first published the Namibian National Bibliography in 1979. And in sports news, two local marathon runners, Hilaria Johannes and Phineas Mbashu, were rewarded with an extra $20,000 by Rossing Uranium Mine yesterday for their splendid performances. The money is in addition to the $10,000 they have each received already for winning this year's Rossing Marathon. The two runners are members of the Namibian Defence Force, and some of their bosses were on hand to witness the check handing over ceremony. In his speech, Rossing Uranium Manager of Corporate Communications and External Relations, Jerome Mutumba, said the sponsorship was for continued material support for the two top-class distance runners. The 21st edition of the popular event will take place at Swakopmund in February next year. Well, that was a summary of the stories making headlines at this hour. Thanks for watching. Good night.